A new op-ed. Here's how it reads. Biden's economy is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Doug Schoen is a Democrat, and he wrote that. And Doug is back and joins us now. OK, Doug, let's spell this out. What's the rock?
Sure.
What's the hard place? And is the economy going to hurt Biden in 2024?
Sure. Well, the rock is high interest rates, rapid increase, the specter of continued inflation at a high level, and the possibility of a, as Jackie Heinrich was saying, crippling recession if, in fact, there is issues about the debt ceiling. So there's no good economic news out there, and it's clearly suppressing the president's own approval rating.
I don't think he's going to run. I don't think the Democrats will let him run. You're a Democrat, very much inside the party. What do you say?
I take a slightly different view. I think he's going to run, Stuart, as long as he is able to run. And I think the Democrats will probably support him, even if they have private doubts about him, simply because there's nobody on the bench who offers a credible alternative.
Well, what's your judgment, Doug? Do you think he is capable of running, capable of going through a campaign, and then capable of running the government for 4 more years?
Well, it is hard for me to speak about the future, but I can talk about the campaign. And having been in the White House with Bill Clinton, running a Rose Garden strategy is not a difficult process to engage in. It's not quite the same as living as he did in his basement in Wilmington, but it's pretty darn close. People come to you, the media comes to you. You don't really have to campaign that broadly. So my suspicion is that he's going to make every effort to run, and that the process will favor someone who has at least the skills necessary to project a message.
During the campaign, though, he'll have a very hard time escaping the media, not answering any questions. That's going to be a very difficult thing for him to pull off. Last 20 seconds to you, Doug Schoen.
Yeah, and he's done a pretty good job in his first term of dodging the media. And my guess is as the campaign goes on and the Republicans fight among themselves, as appears likely, he will do a better and better job trying to duck the media and not answer substantive questions. I don't think you're going to see a lot of press.
If asked, would you help his campaign? Would you work on his campaign?
You know, I believe the Republicans are so divisive and so extreme with the 6-week abortion ban and permitless carry in Florida that I would help him. But the problem solvers caucus, with their restrictions on spending, are where my heart is.
Okay. Doug Schoen, welcome back. Good to see you again. And we'll see you again soon.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Doug.